here we are on the eve of the 2021 Premier League final last year. But do you come into this year's tournament a little bit of soul searching to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. Form's not been great. I've had some good games in there, but obviously not been winning. As you know, I've been teetering with new darts and new equipment. A lot of stuff going on at home, which has now been sorted. House-wise, not relationship-wise. So, but that's all sorted now. And you'll see on Monday night when I'm playing, I've gone back to my old darts at the moment, which is something I said I wouldn't do. Which I'm sure you'll be thriving to put an headline on that. Nathan's gone back on his word. But I've been playing with him, and just a few things that I've noticed with him. The grip's been too long for me. I've been catching it quite a lot, pulling a lot of darts. So back to basics, try and get a bit of confidence back with my old darts, and we're working on a new set again. But no, I've been practicing a couple of weeks with these my old darts, and yeah, they feel great, and I actually do feel confident going into the Premier League, to be fair.
It was on my list to ask you, because you said that we had free reign to question you if you got them out of the drawer again. When did you kind of make that decision that the new ones weren't working and you had to go back to old faithfuls?
When Lisa beat me in the World Series, the Super Series. So to be fair, like I said, I've been playing really well, but not the standards I need to be at to be going deep in, especially the Pro Tour. I've been averaging around the 95 mark, a couple of poor games, but Lisa beat me, and fair play to her. She finished everything against me, and I phoned Kirsty up, my partner, and I said, go upstairs, go in my drawer, get my darts, get him to the post office. I want him at the hotel by 9 in the morning. It cost me 30 quid to send him. But yeah, I got him, and first game back with him, he had 107 average. I actually got beat, believe it or not, against Richie Headhouse, but I just felt comfortable. It's like anything, you go back to what's comfortable for you, and that's what I've done. And okay, I didn't have the greatest of Pro Tours, but I'd not threw these darts since the World Championship. So even though they were my old darts, I was learning to throw them again. So I took a lot of confidence from a couple of games. Been practicing with him the last couple of weeks, and yeah, they seem to be going where I want them to.
We've heard MVG say this a lot as well, and it's the same for you. As a professional dart player, can you throw anything, but it's always in the back of your head that'd have gone in with the old set?
Yeah, I think that it's the mental side of it. Like you say, I can pick up a set of brass darts or any darts, and after probably 2 or 3 minutes, I would have hit a 1-8 with him. It's when you're in a game situation and you got one dart at double 16, and you might pull it, and you think, if you had my old darts, I wouldn't have missed that. And it's the psychological side of things. So, I've been using these new darts. I've been doing interviews, and I've used every excuse under the sun. Back to my old faithful. So, I could go and do the job now, and then I don't need to make any excuses.
Just looking at your form, obviously, I think you're probably the player that suffered most from no crowds, and you've openly admitted that. With light at the horizon and a potential, Barry's teased us that there may be some fans towards the end of the Premier League. Is that your goal, just to make sure that you're there for if that happens?
Yeah, definitely. Me personally, I don't think there will be any crowd at any of the Premier League, which I'm absolutely gutted about. I've been in it now 2 years, and all I want to do is play at Manchester. And obviously, I'm not going to get that opportunity again this year. So go and win it this year, then I'm back in it next year. So then I can play in front of my home fans. But yeah, I have suffered. But everyone's in the same boat. People are dealing with it in different ways. For me as well, it's the sitting in your room. I love going out playing the golf. I love going out having a game of pool after the game of darts, going out for nice food, and obviously we're just literally cooped up in our room, and I'm missing my kids more now than ever because you've got a lot of time to think about stuff sat in a room. So yeah, it's been tough. I can't wait to see the end of it, to be fair. And like I say, my form has backed that up. What I've said, I've not been doing very well, but new head going into the Premier League, and we're playing every night against the best players in the world. If I can't go up for that, then I shouldn't be playing darts.
Speaking of new head and everything like that, was it a relief when that UK Open money dropped off? Because I know it had been hanging over you. People have been asking questions about where you're going to defend it. Was it on your mind? Is that not like a clean slate for you that you can just look to the future and build again?
To be fair, a lot of people were going on about it, and I've mentioned it a few times. But in all honesty, you've got to look at 2 years ago, first round of the match play. think pretty much first or second round in every event. So back end of the year, I can kind of go. It'll feel like it was 2 years ago, where everything's a plus. Because obviously I've defended about $250,000 in the last 3 months, and I'm still in the top 10. Everyone around me, they're dropping like flies. To be fair, you got Smithy, Duzzer, Whitey, Darryl. I couldn't believe it the other day. He's gone out to 15, and it was only 12 months ago. He's number 6 or something. It's just mental. But I don't worry about it too much. What will be. It's down to me to have good tournaments in the tournaments that I didn't do very well in 2 years ago, and build that ranking money back up. But I trust my own ability, and I'm due to win a game at the match play, so I'm hoping for a good one there in July.
Last one from me. You touched on it there, what you're defending and whatever, and your form's not been the best. You're back to being that underdog. Is that something that you
Yes.
like again? Because
I love it.
Because you've been dogged as favourite for this, and people are talking about you to win titles, but now you're going under the radar again. Does that suit you down to the ground?
Oh, I love it. Everyone thinks I'm getting eliminated from the Premier League. I hope they've all put money on it because they'll lose a fortune. I love it, to be fair. Obviously, I've kind of come from nowhere to, back-to-back semis, winning the UK, winning the Masters, run up in the Premier League, big tournaments. We're not talking pro tours or European, we're talking massive TV events. And I've gone from, normally 30, 40s to 1 to like 8 to 1 to win tournaments with amazing players in it. So that does carry a bit of burden with it. You're thinking, right, everyone's expecting me to at least get to the semis, to the final. And you do think about that. Now I'm back to the States that I like, where people think I'm going to lose. People think I'm a one-hit wonder, as the phrase that they always say. And I love that, because I love proving people wrong. Yourself, Phil, I say it all the time in interviews, I love proving people wrong. And everyone thinks that me and Glenn are getting relegated because we've had 8 bad floor tournaments. You see these stats. I'm averaging 92, Glenn's averaging 90, we're getting relegated. More fool them if they think that's the case, because, rest assured that isn't going to happen.
Nathan, pleasure as always, mate, and wish you all the very best on Monday.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Hi, Nathan. Hope you're well.
Hi, mate.
When I spoke to you last year before the Premier League resumed in Milton Keynes, you just won the home tour and you said you were playing dreadful. And I don't think you've probably changed that view in all that time. It's been since we've lost the crowds.
Yeah.
You seem to have lost your mojo completely. Is there a sign that that's going to change? I know you talked about your darts and stuff, but mentally, have you come across that now?
Yeah, to be fair, I am a strong mental guy, to be quite honest with you. It's a boredom with me. I don't get the same buzz walking out in front of, a few officials as I would do to walking out in front of 7,000 people. And it's still new to me. So I still get, when I'm stood at that walk-on and my song comes on dead loud and everyone's cheering, the buzz that you get from that, you can't describe it until you've done it. And that's kind of been taken away from us. But everyone's been in the same boat. I just really need to get fired up. And I think Gezzy's found something that he can get fired up without the crowd and without doing what he normally does. I think Michael's probably like me. We are still trying to find that thing to get us fired up. I can't drink any more Red Bulls before we walk on stage. So, I have. It's been 12 months now, and I think the fact that I'm playing every single night against the best players, I know I have to perform. So I do think I'll be fine coming into the Premier League, but I've kind of forgot about last year now. I took the positives from the Premier League campaign, but to be quite honest with you, the rest of it I've just completely put to the back of my mind, and trying to start fresh this year.
On the same note, I think I know Gary Anderson said during that the blocks of time Milton Keynes that the players were going stir crazy.
Yeah.
And again, that's something else that affects you as well, as you've said already.
Yeah, I think certainly the one just gone. I'd lost first game against Lisa. Fair play to her, she played really well. And then I got beat on the second day, first round, 107 average. I'm like going back to my room, but I'm coming down to the venue, I'm having my 2.5 hours practice, I'm playing, and then back to my room at 3 o'clock. Watch my tipping point and my chase, and then there's nothing else to do. So come Thursday, I got beat second game, and I was ready for home. And I was going to drive home that night, and then my partner said, stick it out, play Friday, and just play and drive home, which is what I did. I just couldn't wait to get home. But it is hard. It's like I keep saying, everyone's in the same boat. But for me, and certainly the bigger players, our buzz is playing on TV. We don't get up for it as much on these pro tours, and especially when you're locked in your room for 18 hours a day, it's even harder to stay focused and get that hunger to win all the time. But yeah, Premier League's different. We're on telly every night, so hopefully the hunger will be there. Oh, it will be there, I would say.
Great stuff. Thank you, Nathan. And good luck.
Thank you.
Nathan, you mentioned previously that you and Glenn are probably have been touted as the two favourites for relegation. Do you think it's a good time to play Glenn first up, obviously on Monday night?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy with me. Well, certainly my first 5 games I'm really happy with, to be fair. Obviously I've got Glenn first game, and it's common knowledge he's really, really struggling. I heard an interview that he did. I think Barry Earn was on it as well, and it was really negative, and it's not nice to hear. I've been struggling a bit, but you've got to stay positive, and I think he will. I think he'll come good in the Premier League, to be fair, this year. I think he struggled probably a bit like me, being away, just playing in the pro tour environment. But yeah, we're both underdogs. Look what happened last year. We was underdogs last year, and we both got to the final. So yeah, I'm happy to play him first, to be fair. Obviously followed by Dimmy on his debut.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gezi, them first 3 games I'm quite happy with, because I always have a good battle with Gezi, and I've kind of got the upper hand at the moment on him. So yeah, just can't wait to get going.
Momentum is a huge thing in the Premier League. You learned that last year, and you mentioned those 3 opening games. A win, maybe 4 points from those opening 3 games, and suddenly the confidence is back, and we start maybe to see the old Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I feel like come the end of the series was gone, even though I was losing, I felt like I had a bit of my swagger back, a bit of my hop, as you all call it. So I'm hoping, obviously, get off to a good start on Monday night. Battle it up with a good result on Tuesday. Then all of a sudden, you 4 from 4, your confidence is sky high. You might be playing a guy that's still to get a point on the board, and with Gezi in the 3rd game, you never know. Obviously, it works both ways, doesn't it? If you struggle, if you have a slow start, then pressure's on you. Go out there, get 1 or 2 wins from the first 2 or 3 games, and you're buzzing and you're full of confidence, and pressure's on your opponent, not yourself.
Do you think there's more or less expectation on yourself this year, considering form and all the factors going into the Premier League?
I think there's less expectation, but I think there'll be a lot of eyes on me to see how I do. Look at what's happened with Rob. He's a world champion. He don't get the respect he deserves, from my opinion. Everyone slates him, saying he's a one-hit wonder, and he's won multiple major titles. He's just had a bit of dip in form. He's had stuff going on at home. That's what people forget. We're actually, we are actually human beings. We do have families and stuff happens at home, moving house, and problems with the kids and stuff. So, at the moment, I'm in a good place now. I've sorted a lot of things out at home. So yeah, if they want me to class me as underdogs, yeah, that'll do for me.
Oh, brilliant. Cheers for your time, Nathan.
Cheers.